This is the NASA SMELT 2023 verification testing video. As we have all of our mass weighed out, and we're about to load it into our big crucible over here, where we'll bring it over to our station and start our testing. We're going to gather our parts. Mass weighed out to about 125 grams. 126.5 grams was the final amount. Loaded, we'll take it over here to our station where you can meet our other leader for the project, Alex. Alex here has set up most of this entire project throughout the summer with the rest of the team. We have our microwave source with its cooling fan. We have our two tuners connected to it and our waveguides relating right to our chamber, where a gasket will enclose the lid right here as we load it in. First, just to make sure all performance and safety metrics were followed, we have two microwave leakage detectors over here. That'll tell us anything and will begin beeping over 5 megawatts per square centimeter, which is half the amount that the OSHA recommends for the distance. So we can get started with loading, and then we'll go through the process of how it works. Take our crucible over here and start loading it into our our insulation chamber. Slowly let that in there. You're going to want to use a glove if you're touching any sort of the white fiberglass sort of material. It'll be loaded in. We'll get the top of it. It's safe to touch the Kapton tape, which is why everything's followed well. We'll get our lid and throw that right on top. Once there, we'll be using clamps. They should be about evenly spread, and this just helps assist the gasket. Make sure it's really clamped down onto the lid to make sure any leakage from microwaves would not get out. So now that everything is set, we can see our chamber is prepped to go. Making sure that there's no grand, as you can see Alex is fixing it, so they're all evenly spaced. And as we're getting set up, we'll put our pour bricks on top. These will just get to the temperature about the top of the chamber, so that when we pour, there's no massive difference in heat between the molten mass and the bricks that they get poured into. Now the chamber's prepped, everything's ready for us. We're going to turn on our two microwave wave detectors. As you can see those beeps, that means they're on. One will be set near the chamber and one will be located over by us, just to make sure anything doesn't leak over to the people running the test. We have our tongs ready to pull everything out. We are ready to go. So when we come over here, as we're gathering our data, the microwave tuner will be turned on. We can see the power that goes in and the reflected waves over here. Once we give it a second to set up, we'll give it the A-OK to go. We'll run our test for about 12.5 minutes, and we'll come back to you when that test is ready. Ready. Power's on. You can see it. We're about 1,500 watts with about 1 to 2 microwaves being reflected. We'll be back in 12.5 minutes. Something we forgot to mention, just the setup of the video. The microwave radiators and just go around the chamber about 1 inch away and just make sure that there's no major leakages. As you can see right now, we're good. If there was ever an issue, we just have an emergency power off switch right here. If we're unable to reach that, we have our setup right over here that we can just stop that lever, and we have two in case anything goes wrong. We'll be back with the melted video after this. Take off the lid. We'll remove the top. See the molten mass at the bottom. Alex is currently grabbing the temperature. With the thermal gloves, it's safe to touch the outside, and we'll place it on the floor so no one can accidentally bump into it. Using our tongs, we're going to take the crucible out, like so, and place it on the floor so we can get a better grip on it. Grab it with our tongs, move the crucible out of the way, and slowly pour into our bucket. As you can see, got a lot coming out there. That's all right. We'll just slowly put that back in the crucible. Luckily, the floor is not flammable in any way. The avid safety precautions are taken with fire hydrants and fire extinguishers, and everything else around. Here's our molten mass all poured out. We can give our tongs a quick dunk and put any hot objects out of the way of where anyone would be standing.